How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and the third in the Let's Talk About discussion videos I started doing this week. And we're going through all the colours of the set 17 decks, and we've done red, we've done blue, and now it's time to talk about green. So green has widely been considered the worst colour in the game for a while now, but given the new ban list update and also what we're getting in set 17, green has kind of risen up again. Because the issue with green mainly comes down to the fact that it's like the most of the plays in green are a lot more expensive than the other colours. So like the other colours can do things quite cheaply, quite more effectively, and green struggles quite a bit with it. And also it does happen to be that, as I've talked to in other videos, green is one of the colours where the the decks are mainly heavy archetype decks. Like you see, most of the decks for green are heavy on the archetype, meaning they've got a big archetype for the deck, and then a few card slots. It's space in it to do generic good green stuff. Because the same thing happens is like a problem in red, and you've got the other colours like blue and yellow, which are more good generic leader for that colour, and then all good generic good cards to build the deck, apart from certain exceptions. And then you got black, which is just full on tech cards with like it had a main package for all of them, but that's now changing up given the new list update. And yeah, it's slowly coming up though, so we're looking forward to play it. And with some of the one of the new leaders in there, I'm very excited to play green again. Well, I've been playing green for a while, but to see green get a rise up in not being the worst, maybe still being the worst color, but actually being a lot better than it used to be. But before we get into it, feel free to like the video if you enjoy it by the end of it. Also, feel free to comment on the video as well with anything you want, be it discussion, questions regarding what's in this video, or anything like that. The start of the discussion, I do like to talk about certain things, especially on certain topics. And also feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because it keeps you updated with my videos as and when they drop. Especially if you click the notification bell, you then get alerts to when they do drop. And it really helps, and it goes to helping me get to 1,000 subs, which is my current goal on the channel, and I'm currently a third of the way there. And for every 100 subs I get, I do a giveaway, mainly like a premium pack or something, and we're currently on the way to 400 for the next one. And then when I get to 1,000 subs, I'll be doing a special thing, which I'll give more detail as we get closer to that point, because we're still quite a way off. But without further ado, let's get into the video and discuss green decks in set 17. So, green is all about really one character in set 17, and that is all around cooler. So both the leaders, because like with the other ones, every set we really get 2 leaders for each colour, except for black. Black varies between 2, 1 and none. And for green in this set, it's all around cooler, be it one side being cooler and the other side being meta cooler. And it's a little bit different than what we normally get, because as I've also said in other videos as well, is sometimes, a lot of the time really, when you get a color, you normally get one side being a heroic leader side, and the other side being a villainous side. So like with the as seen by red, we had Rildo and Mew being the bad side, and Goku, Trunks, and Pan being the good side. But then with green, we've just got both bad guys on both sides being a normal caller from the first caller film, and a meta caller from the second caller film. So let's have a look and see what it's like to need. So we'll start off with as I've been doing so far, the more casual looking kind of deck. And for that one, this one is meta caller. So meta caller is more the casual looking deck, because it seems to be like a never reboot kind of improvement on the meta caller stuff we got back in set. I think it was 3, maybe 2. I feel it might have been 2. Not 100% sure. I can't remember that far back. If you know I've been playing since the beginning, I can't remember that far back. But meta caller core is all based around, the meta caller game plan is all about spamming the board with little beat sticks. So it's like a beatdown deck, dropping infinite multiplication meta caller. And This time it's in green, but we do get a reprint of the Infinite Multiplication Meta Cooler, so you can now get that in foil, which is fantastic for all those Meta Cooler fans. But not only that, we get one in foil for yellow, we also got one in different colours. So if you're not aware, it started off in yellow for Meta Cooler, and then when we got to set 9, we got some red support, like because we had cooler there again in red for the mill, but it also has Meta Cooler support put in a bit in red. Like, it wasn't much, but we did have it. And then the current one is currently green. So to help out, Bandai's given us Infinite Multiplication Meta Cooler in red, green, and yellow, all the same permanent, basically the same card, just different colours with different arts as well. So if you want to play, different color combinations with this, you can. Or with old ones, it supports the old one, kind of. Yeah, mostly it supports the old one, and allows you to go different color combinations, which is pretty cool. But not only that, they do have some other support of it, like it got its own checkland, but it's not as great as one of the checklands we saw. So it's not as great as the Androids 17 and 18 one for the Gamma, or the one for like Zamasu, where just turn 1 you can checkland and multicolor energy. You can't do it in this. So for this one, for the permanent, the energy is supposed to be ignored. You need to have a Meta Cooler card in play. So turn 1, unless you're magically able to get one on board, then you normally turn 2, playing the charging the checkline, so you're charging a normal one turn 1, so you can use the fill card to get out Meta Cooler, and then turn 2 you're using the checkline to get that multicolor energy, so that way you can access some of them. Because some of the cards require a certain tool color, because there are quite a lot of multicolors for this one, and some of them are quite good. It's all about spamming as well, because as you see on the leader, it's got a permanent when it's awakened, where if there's 20 or more Infinite Multiplication Meta Coolers in your energy, battle area, and or drop, so in any combination it's free, it gets a permanent 5k power. So that's a lot of them to get about, but it's almost like at least 2/5 of your deck, so that's quite a bit. And what is a lot is still quite nice when you get there, so it's basically just loading up a load of them that have a beatdown deck. You just vanilla beatdown in a sense. But you do have some nice cards in like Meta Cooler Core Newfound Foe, which is a good way to search to look out for more of them, because you trigger it from hand once per turn to basically just discard it and then never Meta Cooler from your hand. And then you look at the top 7 card to find 2 more Meta Coolers, so you can basically just keep filling your deck, finding them, because the leader will also be playing them from the deck when it swings on either side. And this also has a good use, not just being a searchlight app, but also being played, because it's got a successor for 1 green, which means if you get basically just get 2 Meta Coolers, either green or yellow, or any multicolor one, set them off the playlist, and this one gives an effect almost like the old yellow reboot leader, in the fact that you can choose 2 Meta Cooler Core as an active main and give it 5k power for the turn, so you can make them 15k to 20k, make them a bit stronger. And then you got the checkland also does a good effect when it's played, or when it is played from your hand, you get to look up to 7 cards from top of your deck and play up to 3 of the multiplication that you see among them on your board in rest mode, giving yourself basically 8 for 2 energy, 8 cost of battle cards, at least with 3 15ks, which goes well with the big success that's in the set as well. But it doesn't seem that competitive because it's just a beatdown deck. But it could be quite a fun and quite strong casual deck, because you're just drawing this beatdown deck. There's bodies that you just spam on the board, and given that it's got green support as well with like charismatic and stuff like that, you can go on quite well to survive and just beat down consistently and put a strain on your opponent's resources. But the other side of that is Cooler. So Cooler Galactic Dynasty, with a focus on its squad. So this is just like almost like the Red GT, more of what we're going to see in yellow with the Goku. It's more of like a unison based strategy, so it's focusing more on like playing all unisons, which isn't too bad, but it makes good use of those, because on both sides, when it attacks, you can choose to either draw a card or play unison from your hand with a specified cost of 1. So it sucks that you don't get the draw and play a 1 drop. I don't know what would be so bad in green for that, but you do get the option of drawing or playing a unison. And on both sides as well, you also get to, well, and on the front side as well, it also take a life to do it as well, so you can awaken quicker. It's a built-in self-awakening, which is really nice. And as well as I've got on both sides once per turn, where if a unison card in your unison area is placed in your drop area, you draw one. So as you're replacing unisons to keep spamming unisons out, or on your opponent's turn, you get a draw from that, so extra draw power there. And it's got a nice activate battle, so even though you're loading your deck up on a lot of unison cards, they're not dead because it's activate battles allow you to discard them to give your leader or unison card a boost. Like you can give it's mainly for your leader defensively to protect itself, making use of them so they're not dead in hand, and offensively they give some extra power to your unison or battle card or your leader card. And with that, you've got some really good unisons, like we've got the old Demigra Union Sorceress set 10 to support it. This is not only your turn 1 play you want, because it's a unison that can prevent itself from losing markers. You can set up the markers count high, so when you play the other ones, the empower goes over and keeps that going. And also serves as a little bit of barrier removal as well if you want to, which is quite nice. And then you've got the other ones that come in the set from from Cooler's what's it called, Squadron, because it's on my Squadron. You got Salsa, which basically acts as the never copy in unison form of Charismatic, so you can load yourself deck up with 8 Charismatics, and Charismatic is really good as it is, so having extra 4 copies is fantastic, while also keeping a unison on board, and even having it as a nice attack, because it's +1 allows it to be a 15k to swing with. And then we got Nezzy, which is like a negate one, which then allows you to choose a battle card and make it so it can't attack for the turn, so preventing more attacks, which is really nice, and also being a +2 to help keep the markers high as well. So very useful unisons, and they keep strategy going. And these are 2 nice ones that can play on your opponent's turn to get that draw from the second auto as well, to keep filling for your deck. And not only that, but you do have a pretty strong end game in Golden Freeze and Newfound Might, which is one of the SRs in green. And it's a very nice finisher in the fact that it's got Empower 4, so when Empower is a mechanic where if the unison replaces a never unison of a certain colour, which would be in the thing, so in this one it's Empower green 4, so if this freezer replaces a green unison, it can take it for 4 markers from that unison replace and add it to itself. So if you have one with 4 markers and you play this for free energy, you then have 7 markers when you drop it, so you're easily able to activate the -4, and it comes with a board wipe effect as well in the auto, which is fantastic. And it just becomes a really big boss monster for the deck, because it could become, with the -4, a board wipe that is then also a triple strike dual attacking 30k, which gives you just a lot of pressure on turn 3, and then you've easily got Charismatic and Dormant to help protect yourself. Dormant, the limited amount of attacks your opponent can have, and Charismatic to pop things when your opponent plays it, because you're going to still have 3 markers by the end of it after dropping the freezer, and also have it to block as well if needed. And if it does get removed, you draw a card, so it's not too bad. And yeah, it just seems like a really good thing, because green's got some really nice, really good cards, but it just lacks draw, and this leader being able to get self-awakening, constantly draw, and have a choice to draw or play unison, and then when replacing the unison, drawing as well, is really, really good. Really, really nice. But lo and behold, there are also Evergreen decks. You might not think there are Evergreen decks, because not many people use green decks because they're not as strong as the same other colours, but there are some Evergreen decks that are very strong that also can be used in the meta if people give them a chance. And I've been using some of these in my streams if you want to check out as well. I've used all 3 of these decks that you see on screen at the moment in the UK webcam locals I've been running. So we're going to have a look and go through some of the options, because it's more than just these as well. So the first one I want to go over is King Cold. This is the one that most people, even myself, regard as the best green deck at the moment, because it's really like all these are focused archetype decks, but this one performs the best in the fact that it has a very strong strategy and very cheap plays as well, and has an interesting mechanic revolving around field cards. So with King Cold, as I said, it rolls around field cards. You use playing field cards to get drawing from the leader, and the field cards give you a benefit, and you can play more because of the main field. You start off with a field card when you play the leader down, and that field card lets you play more, but you can't replace the cards with another copy until that copy is gone. And you got good utility in most of them. Allow yourself awaken, like on the ones we got on the screen. New rule and Unstoppable Invasion, when played, allow you to have the option to take a life if you want to, as part of their effect. And new rulers for that consistency. When you play it, you get to look at top 3 cards to find a green card, and put the other one. You look at top 3, add a green card among them to your hand, and put the rest at the bottom of your deck. And when it's sacked off by your skill, meaning your lead or one of your battle cards, you draw a card and discard a card. Then you got Unstoppable Invasion, which is your way to put pressure on with the lead, because when it's played, you can choose to take a life. And then you choose your leader, give it double strike and 10k until the end of the turn, and with the effect of the leader on its awakened side, you've got the effect to sack off an extra card with entry cost of 2 and the field skill in your battle area to give this card 5k, 10k for the battle. So with just Unstoppable Invasion and your leader's effect, you can make your leader 35k base double striking attacker for very little energy. We're also getting a draw from the leader by playing Unstoppable as well. And then when Unstoppable is sacked by your skill, it also allows you to rip a marker off your unison, because one of the things green activate, one of green's kind of identities with unisons is removing markers from. And then you anticipate onslaught, which is a way which doesn't allow you to awaken, but does get you extra draw and allows you to play things for free. Because when it's played, you draw a card, then you play a battle card that's either a freezer clan or a freezer army that's green with 2 cost or less energy from your hand onto the board. And it's got an alter where if you sack off a never fill card, not itself, but a never fill card in play, you get to pop one of your opponent's battle cards at 2 cost or less, which gives you a little bit of removal for little weenies, plus free playing and extra drawing. So if you ever want to have a play where you play a fill card but don't want to take a life, you can use this to get a draw and then draw from your lead. And then there's also got some really good plays. Like, he's got a really good unison in King Vegeta and Umbral Invader, which acts as a way to play your field cards without paying energy for them, because of his +1 is to play one for free from your hand, a field card with entry cost of 2. That's green. So using that turn 2, playing at the field card, getting the draw for the leader, and be able to save your energy for something else. And it also acts as a finisher, like some unisons do, in its -3, where activate battle, it gains triple strike and also 5k power for each card in your battle area with the field skill. And you can get up to 5 on your board, the one you start off with and the 4 that are available that are in the set that are pretty good with it. So you can make it a 40k triple striker for a finisher, which is very strong, especially in a unison which you don't have much to interact with to stop it. And then you got Royal Supremacy for a free negate, as long as you've got 3 field cards, which you'll always have at least 1 from the start, and you just need to play 2 more, so it's live by turn 2. And it just allows you to have a free negate that also clears up the free cost on your opponent's battle area when you use it as well. So very cheap plays in playing, very good draw power, and very easy defense. As one being green, you've then got access to Charismatic as well as the counterplay with the Umbral Invader. The next one we have is Turtles. Like, Turtles is one that's been out and has done well. It has done well previously, but it did drop off a little bit as time went on, and is not played, from what I've seen, it's not played that much anymore, but it's still a very good deck. It did have a bit of a issue before with the whole text issue, where people couldn't read and understand the text in a card, but I had to clarify in like reception level or nursery level reading skills to realize that you're supposed to choose face up, because it didn't specify it was you have to flip a face down life face up. People went ballistic, so banned out to go, basically it's face up. You have to flip a face down life, face up. So now it works back as how it's meant to. And the deck has some interesting things. So it has Tree of Might, which you start off with in your opponent's battle area. So it's like a unique thing in that you start off by playing a card in your opponent's battle area. So you can play a 60 or 50 cards, and you start off with a 49 and 59 deck, but put it in your opponent's area, and it allows you to benefit by helping you trigger your Alternative Awakening by getting your opponent's life face up, while also giving you advantage and giving you a Fruit of the Tree of Might every turn, which is basically this deck's signature Champa kind of deck. Because if you didn't know what Champa is a card that you can basically just combo to give double strike on the card when it's attacking. And Fruit of the Tree of Might is the same kind of thing, but more for Turtles cards, where it's a 1-cost 20k boost to something by flipping one of your opponent's face up life face down, and if that card happens to have Turtles in its character name, it then gains double strike as well. And not only that, it's got some, like, green has some very good unisons as well, some very strong ones. And a nice one that I've been enjoying playing in the deck is King Vegeta's Invasions Command, because it's nice barrier removal. That is for every deck needs barrier removal. So it's nice built-in barrier removal that also, if you don't want to hit something on the board that's got barrier, you can rip a card from your opponent's hand at your choice, which is fantastic. You choosing means your opponent can't discard a card they find is dead. You can rip off and have the potential to rip some crucial cards out your opponent's hand, and also has another one that helps clear your opponent's board, which is very, very strong. And being a free specified cost means when you play it, it's normally going to be quite hard because it's going to have quite a few markers on play. And not only that, it does have a lot of free play, which World Band I want to stop with the free play. Like the difference between this free play and things like King Piccolo and as well as Dark Broly's free play, they're not strong, they're not great, they're just little weenies that help defend you. And that's in the form of like Lakashi, Raisin, and Daze here. Like you got Daze is the one, like they're all, if they're comboed from hand or from the top of your deck, they then play themselves in rest mode. Well, apart from Raisin because it comes in and active mode because it's a blocker. And then you got Daze who, when it does come in, they've all got unique as well, so you have to get rid of ones on the board to then be able to play more. But you got Daze who's a searcher where it looks at top 3 cards to find a Charles Crusher Corpse in your among them to add it to your hand, so a bit of searching there. And Lakashi Raising play the ever one, so Lakashi plays Raisin, Raisin plays Lakashi, and then also Lakashi has extra effect in the fact that you're then allowed to draw a card and then choose one card in your hand and discard it. So draw through extra cards, put stuff in the drop, like if you want to put Ribrianne or a Ape to draw in your drop, you can do that, which is quite nice, or ditch the Fruit Tree and might then grab back from your lead, which is quite nice. The good thing with the leader is also that when he's awakened, when the leader does damage by attacking, you get to choose which to pick. And since you're looking at life fix up, you can choose to like give something they didn't want or something that isn't going to be beneficial to them. And not only that, you do have this like in archetype super combo in Cacao, which is useful. So you got that searching from lead or from things like Days and stuff to have super combos to find. So this is one of the few green decks that doesn't run Paragus because it doesn't need to. And it also has some like very cheap plays in like the Turtle's Dominance of Hand and Turtle's Crusher Corpse Commander. So Crusher Corpse Commander is like the pseudo rival of the deck, where if you got two Crusher Corpse, they both have a both these turtles have a condition where they need 2 Turtles Crusher Corpse card in some place. So for Crusher Corpse Commander, it needs 2 Turtles Crusher Corpse cards in your combo, while the Dominance of Hand needs them on the board. So essentially you can combo like a Lakashi in Daze, and then be able to play, and because they're in the combo area, play for 1 energy Crusher Corpse Commander using Activate Battle. And then after those play, you then can pay 1 energy to play Dominance Hand on the board to have 2 Turtles cards, each with like either the block or the attack with as well. And Crusher Corpse Commander also has the benefit of when you play it, you choose a card in your hand and put it at the bottom of the deck, you then draw 2 cards and then flip one of your opponent's life face up. And Turtles Dominance Hand in this deck basically draws a card to replace itself and then rests one of your opponent's power cards and becomes like a 16k blocker that it's helpful for events as well. And then next we have Majin Buu. So this is one I've recently been playing and been enjoying as well, but not really as a mono green deck, but as like something with a splash of blue, because Senzu Bean is a great card that like helps out more like other colours better than itself, his own colour. And is one of the like few very aggressive decks as well. And it has some nice synergy as well, because you can do a lot on your turn 2 if just by getting the turn 2 charging a green and blue, you can getting a lot of attacks, putting a lot of pressure, and have very good defense as well. Mainly because of the fact that you can get very cheap plays from the Union Absorb going to the 4-drop you see on board, Mighty Exorbitant, which is a searcher for your in-house unison, being Babidi here, and with Babidi be able to make it so have a unison play that keeps Charismatic live in your hand while also being unable to be attacked while you have the Boo on board. So you have like a safety net there, because you play the Boo, use effect to search Babidi to discard a card from your hand, maybe be another copy of the Boo because you want them in either drop or deck, or something like a Rubrian or something you don't want in your hand but you want it in your drop. And then you'll play the Babidi, swing with the Boo to just swing 15k, and then use the Babidi to give it like +2 to give it Servant and have like more markers on your unison, and then give the servant to the Majin Buu until the end of your opponent's turn. So it means it does restand in your turn, and it's now 25k attack thing there. And then while the Buu is in rest mode with servant, your opponent can't attack Babidi with anything. And to make it even harder to get through this lock to attack the units and get rid of it, you also have a permanent on your Majin Buu, where if you have you can move a ghost token instead, like a Majin token, to save it from being removed from the board, and you can make Majin tokens once a turn using the Majin Buu's of activate main by taking a marker off your unison to play a token, and then if you want to, take a life. And not only that, you also have some drop area. You have like ways to disrupt the drop area with the leader as well, by using activate main, where you take a marker of unison, choose one card in your opponent's battle area. On the awaken side, it's just battle area, drop area, but when you awaken, it's drop area and battle area. You get to choose one 4-cost or less battle card in your opponent's in a certain area, depending on which side you're on, and absorb it under your lead. And then you can choose one of the keyword skills and basically add that to your leader. So you can give your leader barrier to protect things from like Zamasu. You can give it dual attack, so you can attack twice. You can give it double strike if it cards out double strike, or even things like a blocker if you want to keep it in active mode. And yeah, then you always, like, once you get this combo, you've got charismatic, and then you even got the old blue Hercule thing to keep dragging out from under these Buus the 1-drop that you start the chain with to start more chains, and then even give you bean for either more aggression or defense as well, which is very nice. There's a deck profile on my channel if you want to check it out and have a look at the list, which is still relevant. It's just got to change the overwhelm because of the list. And then one of the newest ones that I feel could be good and could be a nice hand control deck, especially with some of the stuff that we got for Cooler, is the old Frieza starter deck, because it gets a new, very strong unison in Golden Frieza Newfound Might, because it's got the it's a good free cost that the lead can give critical, and the unison could then make itself a triple striker with critical and dual attack, which is very, very potent, and also has a way to board wipe with the auto as well. And not only that, we have with the leader the way to use Zarbon to keep recurring Zarbon, to then sack off the leader and make him discard 1 and discard 1 for Zarbon if they still got 5 cards or more after that, and then keep drawing back from when you play stuff from the drop using Healing Pod. Like, it seems good on paper, but I just need to come up with a list and have a look at it. And even the new secret rare we got in the set as well, the green one, the green secret rare, is going to be very nice in this, because it's for 1 energy, popping something, because you'll have enough criteria to meet this and pop almost anything, will also make your opponent discard 2 for 1 energy, so that'd be quite nice. I've got the little bits, I just need to wait for the set to come out to try and put together, and will be part of my month when I think, well, as soon as the next set's out and I can get all the stuff to build the decks, I'll be going for a whole month during my the UK Webcam locals, playing Frieza clan decks, being like this Frieza, King Cold, Chilled, and Cooler, which would be fun. It's like a green month. And also, there's lastly the way to finish it off is going over some green tech cards. Now, green is also a colour that I find has some really interesting and nice tech cards. Like just the ones on the board, we got Kakunza, which is a great one to deal with the U7 Goku by being able to use its negate attack to then pop the U7, because like when it comes to things higher than 7 cost, green has an issue with trying to get rid of those without in the opponent's turn. And Kakunza is a very nice one. The only thing is, it's susceptible to, if your opponent plays the Brody Crown Retribution first, it can get rid of it from that, so you have to be wary of that. And then you have things like Blue Impulse, which is a nice one, just like a board wipe. That just for 2 energy, if your opponent plays a battle card in your turn, you get to choose all your opponent's battle cards to KO them. And if you're playing any amount of unison card, if you have a unison card that's green on your board, you then get to reduce it by 1 as well. So you can have a 1 energy board wipe if your opponent just playing you stuff in your turn, and that's what a lot of people try to do with certain decks. Then you've got bigger more to deal with any deck that's got like spams the board with 5 or higher battle cards, so stop them for a turn for 2 energy. They kind of survive longer if you need to, and if your deck needs that. You also got other good ones, like you've got the Bardock Paternal Unison, which is a very good unison to help deal with things like Blue Bojack Piccolo before Piccolo got like hurt quite hard by the ban list, and just to help pressure add a little bit of hand destruction while also dealing with your opponent's combo, and many other good ones as well. Like you got Tex in like Tex, Like you got the 1-drop Vegeta that help against hand control as well, and even you got your Realm of the Gods and things like that. Some good green tech cards. But the ultimate tech that we're getting in the next set for green isn't even a green card, it's a blue card as well. And I feel like this cell is the ultimate green tech. Now you might be wondering why I think it's the ultimate green tech, and that's because it basically is. Because this is a 9-drop that has no real restriction on what deck it can be played on and how it can be played, other than the cost in its activate main. So as activate main, it's limit 1, meaning you can only use once per turn, and the cost to play that out is you need 1 blue energy, 1 green energy, and 2 other energy of any colour to play it from your hand or energy, and it gains double strike for the turn. And if it is played for energy, you get the first auto trigger, which when it's played from your energy, you choose all your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of your deck. Seems a bit similar to what the kind of U7 does, where you can play it for 4 energy and do that. So I feel like this is the green, like the generic green version of the U7 Goku from U7, because it can come out for 4 energy, become a dual attack double striker that's 30k, it's quite high, like 30k, with deflect, wipes your opponent's board, and also make them lose a card from the hand if they, well, in some way, which in this case is if it attacks and you put it activate counter attack skill, they place 1 card from the hand at the bottom of the deck. So it's really cool, and the reason why I say it's the ultimate green tech is the requirement for the activate main is 1 green and 1 blue, and in blue it means you've got to add some kind of green, either playing green multicolor or have an evergreen card to charge, where in any green deck you already have green, you already have all the green, and this card's blue itself. So it's normally you get the turn 4 with your 3 green energy you had from the previous 3 turns, you charge this up for your 4th energy, and now you have a blue being itself, a green energy and 2 other energy which are also green, to then just play 4, plays from your energy. It doesn't matter if you're playing, taking it from your energy, it's fine. You're only 1 energy behind if you're going first. You don't have the same energy no matter what, but you're trying to end them there and you're wiping their board, giving yourself a 30k double strike dual attack, and it has to flex so it doesn't get soft coming out. And being a 9-drop 30k means it's hard for any kind of colour to stop this from dropping, and then you're pressuring quite hard for a big guy. And if it survives, you then have another dual attack to do it again next turn. So yeah, so I feel that is something that I was looking at today and thought, yeah, I'm definitely going to turn tech 2 of these in any green deck I play already, because I feel that's a really good finisher for green that can be played in any green deck, which is quite nice. And that is it for today. So if you want to comment, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video. Also comment down below if you've got any questions, especially I mentioned something like people might have questions about this, or I want a conversation about this. Feel free to do so and I'll answer as best I can. And also, once again, don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out, and it's much appreciated as well. So that is all from me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be for yellow. Bye for now.